Alright, time for a XIN ZHAO game. This will be a low elo game. I'm going to show you guys a very good, consistent way that you can play this champion and be successful, climb with it, you know, all of that. Starting out here, looking at the lanes, I do want to go for the early top lane plays, because we have a very fight-heavy top, no teleports whatsoever. Yeah, everyone, like whoever gets a lead out of this matchup is most likely just going to snowball that matchup. So if I can impact that early, that'd be great. I have double barrier bot lane, very interesting. Bot lane becomes pretty easy ganks after 6 with Ashe ult and all of that. So, you know, later on it'd be nice. Early on, top lane impact, and then later on bot lane focus is kind of what I'm going for here. So I'm just going to start red buff. And the side of the jungle you start on is simply just whatever lane you want to gank towards, or gank for basically, you clear towards that lane. So start red or blue. Red does give you a slight benefit as to regards to potentially being able to invade the enemy, so there is that to keep in mind. But for the rest, it is pretty similar. Interesting. Believe Ashe missed a bit of CS there. I mean, Alicia's nice, but yeah, it's not necessary really. It's kind of okay without. Let's clean this up. I missed one, unlucky. Sometimes those spawns are a bit iffy. What is Ashe doing? She is just like recalling while the support engages. Okay, very interesting. All right, here we're just clearing. All I have to do is I'm just gonna go at least three camps, because Xin needs level 3 to be able to be very effective with all of his skills available. But I'm most likely just gonna end up doing a full clear, because full clearing is extremely consistent and is by far the thing I'd recommend doing the most when it comes to trying to win your games consistently. Right here as well, something to note with Xin is his Q hits lower the cooldown of the rest of his skills. Every hit you do, so you always want to make sure you EW first. This also counts for his ultimate, by the way. So if your ult's on cooldown after a play or a gank, you absolutely want to make sure that you just Q as many times as possible on your jungle count, so your ult cooldown gets lowered drastically. It's a very important factor to remember. Every single hit I do here, as you can see, it goes down by 1 second. So consistently getting these clears in is good. Gonna finish the clear here, and after this we're gonna go top. We are also going to smite this, because we do want to go top relatively quickly here, seeing as how there is like a big fight situation going on. First blood by the mid laner, not bad. Let's move up top lane here. Sweep. Walk in line with the bush. Then we go. Gonna hit once, twice. He flashes already. Knock up. Hopefully Darius flashes as well. Very good. So what I do there is I made sure to hit the minions 2 times with the Q, and then because I hit the minions 2 times with the Q, I was able to instantly go EQ in for the knock up into a free land on the W. You always want to try the W as the target is knocked into the air, so you cannot miss your W at any given moment. These are quite important things. So if you're trying to always engage someone, try to always go for the knock-up Q into the W as much as you possibly can. There are situations where you're going to have to snipe them with W range to be able to close the distance properly, but yeah, those will happen. It is what it is. I'm not going to go for the top scuttle or anything, if you're wondering, because it's more important for me to catch the next respawn cycle, because it's worth way more experience. Plus, as well, I have to remember that my Darius is not going to be able to fight there. My mid laner probably will struggle to fight there for a bit as well. Zek's going to have, like, you know, rotation capabilities here. Mordekaiser is going to be back faster. It's just not going to be too favorable for me. So there's no reason to risk it. Use my skills before I Q. And we are just going to go for another rotation. If he gets the scuttle on top side, doesn't really matter. I got the top lane kill, plus I am catching good tempo into the next rotation, to the point where I should get a tempo advantage over the Zek. Even though he might get like an extra camp or something like that, the tempo advantage means a lot. Alright, good. Keep clearing this, hit level 5, perfect. Yeah, bot seems to be getting into a little bit of trouble with a nice Qiyana rotation there. I have like one more gank on top lane perhaps to do something there. We'll see. Okay. I'm gonna have to help bot lane for sure. The double death there really sucks. Smite this again for a bit of speed, and then we see if we can rotate quickly here. He just gets the solo kill. Okay, perfect. That solo kill pretty much confirms to me that the gank I did was already paid off enough, because Mordekaiser lost quite a bit of that gank already, and it seems that the lane is already snowballing into a proper direction for me here. If I just assist ping this, attack, group them together. We see Zac bot lane. Realistically, this should never be a contestable situation, especially with Darius priority. Oh, I'm getting a bit blocked there. There's a chance here that he just simply dragons, but that's not a problem. We get this. We have to also remember here, we just saw the Zac bot lane, which is important information to note. The reason this is important to note, because it makes it impossible for this Zac to have cleared his topside camps on the second rotation, so we can take his Raptors and his Krugs, which is just incredible value. I'm gonna hold my E for now. Might have to go mid here. I think I'm gonna go mid here. This looks pretty doable. Instead of going for his Krugs, I'm just gonna go mid here. Hit that. And then we finish him with the ult. I was a bit worried about her ulting me, so I'm just finishing her with ult there. Hit the third hit first, that's my priority. Then W, get him into the passive and he dies. And then we just do his blue real quick. That was very nice. As you saw there again, no pressure. Just get the 3 Qs off first, so you get the knock-up. And then because of the knock-up, I get the W land as a guarantee, which makes it very easy to clean that up. Gonna take his blue real quick, and then we'll be leaving, because anything else would be too greedy. Okay, good. Take the reset here. My camps are up in this situation. 2 minutes 50 on the Voidgrubs, but I'm gonna spend my money first. And then we'll clear towards the Voidgrubs afterwards. There is no way that the Zac gets to contest any of these camps, because, I mean, I just killed him in this position, right? And so I'm just gonna get a nice, good tempo all the way up. Wait for the Void... like, basically clearing into the Voidgrub spawn. Get the 6 Voidgrubs, and as soon as I'm done with those 6 Voidgrubs, top is already won. I have got secured those Voidgrubs objectives to make my split pushing Darius significantly stronger. And with that, I can then focus on bot lane for the rest of the game. So I'll have one more good sequence going up here, basically. And make it nice and clean. Not going bot just yet. My support, like, if my support was there, I could consider the gank. But because my support isn't there and my Ashe is literally 1 HP, I do not want to risk it. For me right now, just catching all of my respawns going into the Voidgrub situation is going to be my best amount of experience and gold income. And if I do this, it's going to be overall better later on. Even though they might lose a fight now, it is what it is. If my support was there with like a relatively high HP Ashe, going for the fight wouldn't necessarily be bad. It would definitely be doable. Right now, I can... but I cannot, actually, never mind. I was about to say I can potentially contest that Scuttle Crab. However, I can't because I have no mid prio and my top lane is unplayable there. Mordekaiser was going to have all the prio in the world, so I literally cannot contest him on his on this Scuttle. Because if I contest him there now and then I lose that fight or get pressured out, they would realize that my camps are still up. And I would not only lose the Scuttle Crab, but all of my topside camps as well, realistically. And that is just very, very bad. Max E second. You want to max it second for the attack speed, basically. Okay. We're going to see if we can go for top lane here. This is good. Darius gets to go in here. I get to walk forward. Gonna go flash. Get the hit. Darius is kind of volley blocking me a little bit. Okay. I ulted there purely in case that he wasn't able to finish him with that hit. So my ult hit comes in. It's a very good cleanup situation there. We now have 30 seconds on the Voidgrubs, which I do want to play for. So hopefully he helps with it. I can check if this is up. It is. Okay. I have a little bit of time to scout here, and I figured his Krugs might be up in this situation. They have no teleports. I don't have to worry about that. We're just going to clean this up nicely, and then we just play for this. They might get a dragon out of this situation as a trade, but that's okay. Right now, I've completely secured my entire topside situation. I would love some assistance here, though. This is definitely one of those situations where Darius needs to have the 3 Voidgrubs. At this point, since I've already put so much time into it. So as long as he helps me, it's fine here. And then after this situation as well, I want you to note something right now about the camps. They're all respawning already. Like you see the camp respawning here, so they're going to respawn up in a sequence. So what I have to do now is I just simply recall here. Smite this one out. 1, 2, 3 knock up into a W, and then that way we finish him out. He should die here regardless. Okay, perfect. Now we take the reset. This is respawning, so out of base we can buy our item, go to Grom, because it will be up by the time we get there. And then we can clear everything down and basically play for bot lane for the rest of this game. We're going to be building steel caps in this game as well, and I'll definitely go for Cleaver. The choice is basically between going Cleaver second or going for Sundered Sky second. Both are solid items. However, I will go Cleaver into the tankier teams, which does include these two are pretty tanky. So I'm not going to do it. They're not that strong in this game specifically, but based on champions alone, it's definitely something I do want to go for here. Your Titanic Hydra is an auto attack reset, which is, you have to really use it as one. Because it can allow you to get a very quick knock-up off with your skills. I'm actually gonna go do the scuttle here. Ah, the spam ping, of course. Zach has done absolutely nothing, but you're still losing and spam ping in the jungler, and that makes sense. I just don't be too worried about that. It is what it is, man. Like, I'm gonna help them, absolutely, because I'm now gonna clear down for the rest of this game. I've secured my Darius' position completely, but I'm not gonna be too worried about it. If they cannot hold their own lane, that's not really my problem. I guess their mid laner has, or the enemy mid laner has done bot ganks, but then, you know, Dragon's gone, all good. All we do here, we finish the Krugs now, hit level 10, and then we'll go for the bot lane gank. As I said, we're gonna be playing for a bot side here. Make sure to use your Titanic Hydra hits just in between. My team is just straight up going for the fight. Do they win it? Looks like they do win it indeed. I can dive the Caitlyn here. That is very fine. Gonna loop in from the backside on Caitlyn here. She's gonna walk the turret there. We're gonna hit the W from distance. Gonna wait for my team to push the wave, which is gonna take 35 years apparently. That is very interesting, Zach. Q. Okay. I mean, I'm literally just waiting for my team to do something. They're very slow here. Finish him off there. Perfect. Alright, good. Good enough for me. I was just like casually waiting like 15 years for that push. I need to make sure that I don't get absolutely wrecked here. Ult real quick so I'm not in range of that. Good. Hit the W. Okay, good. Wasn't sure if I needed to actually get the smite in there, but that's fine. Was able to use an auto attack reset, get the knock-ups off. We're good. This is basically now bot lane's fixed. Like I've won the entirety of topside, and then after that one play, I just instantly fixed bot lane as well. So this should secure a pretty good situation for them. And now my camps are respawning down once again, so I guess we'll look for that. Gonna hit the ward down real quick, and I just want to leave now. I have quite a bit of gold. Ashe has literally no HP, probably a decent amount of gold as well, because she just got a significant amount of kills. So for me, it just makes sense to now just go back, buy my item components here, and then we go for topside. Everything will be respawning in a like downward cycle here once again, so we can play for bot side. My top has won. I think my bot has now also won after I just donated Ashe like 3 kills or something. So I feel like this should be okay. I can just go like scuttle here into Rift Heralds into my entire clear probably and be fine. Darius seems to be struggling a little bit there. Walking behind. Remember to use that Titanic Hydra proc as an auto attack reset. I mean, they can do whatever they want in this situation. For me, getting the Rift Herald right now is just very good. The fight is already kind of doomed because they already got like an initial advantage on the fight. I can help them, but that would have to mean I give up the Rift Herald right now. I've already sunk so much time into it that I don't really want to be doing that. Gonna finish this off. My camps are up, but in this position I can just kill the Mordekaiser very easily. So that is exactly what I'm going to do first. What we're going to do here is EM or not. That doesn't really make a difference, I don't think. Does it? Get the knock up in there. Does he win because of Mordekaiser ult being broken as hell? I guess he wins. Okay, my bad. Mordekaiser ult OP. I'll respect it. That's fine. I'm not too worried about my HP at this moment, unless I got rotated on by Qiyana, but Qiyana's bot lane, so we're kind of chilling. Because as in what you can do is just get as many hits in as possible, and you'll get your passive to heal you back up, alongside camp healing. Gets you back up as well. So we're just going to go for our clear anyway. I had to disengage from the Mordekaiser for a bit there. His ult's a bit too strong for me to consider fighting him in it, apparently. I thought I was going to be okay, but nah, it's not really okay just yet. Kind of strong. The 1v1 advantage he gets in that ultimate is insane, so... Even though I might look incredibly strong, I still lose those, apparently. Amazing. Good. Keep clearing. As you can see, full rotation down now. I'm making sure I have a good line in the camps. This way you can have like a very good CS tempo. As you can see, my CS is looking really, really good. At 159 at 16 minutes. I do want to play for the dragon now. I've played for the entire top-sided situation. Lost one dragon for the in return, but that's okay. Can I hit that thing, please? Yeah, I was about to say what the hell. But like lost a little bit in return, like one dragon for the entire Voidgrub Rift Herald situation, which is fine. Now this turret's off the map here, so my Rift Herald wants to go to this turret or this turret. I see an opportunity to play bot side here and take the enemy's bot side camp, so I'm gonna focus on that right now. This should be fine. We go for Caitlyn. I'm kind of trolling a little bit, that's my bad. I thought my hit was the third hit, but it was the second hit. So I into the tiny amount. There we go, it's fine though. Situation solved. We're just gonna instantly Herald for the tier 2 turret, as I said. I want to look for one of these tier 2 turrets if this mid turret isn't like something I have to kill. Because that mid turret needs to be broken first to break the map open in order to... That doesn't hit? Okay, it doesn't matter. In order to break the map open to have jungle advantage, you want to break that. But, like, obviously the side turrets are worth 700 gold each. So those are worth way more going for. We get a quick bounce off and I just simply leave after that. We can take the blue and the dragon in this position. The enemy jungler is dead, so I don't have to rush to the dragon here. My team is just currently finishing it off, so I can take my time to do the blue buff in this position. If the enemy jungler was alive, I had to have to walk past this blue buff, because at that point, I need to make sure I can secure the dragon and the enemy jungler doesn't get it. So there's that. All right, cleaver here. If I'm going, like, I'm basically only going cleaver or... this one usually, so I'm gonna just choose between the two, and then afterwards here we're gonna go for the Sterax pretty much always, regardless of what you build. If you didn't go cleaver because the enemy team is full squish and Thunder Sky makes sense, they can't really build any tank or like tanky items into you, then you know you don't have to go cleaver anyway. And if you go cleaver, you don't really need Thunder Sky afterwards either. So it's one of those where I'm just going to go down the route of doing now the Sterax as the third item. Pretty much always guaranteed. It's very, very, very strong third item. You can always do this. And then afterwards, you just basically have to build an armor and a magic resist item. And you're going to be looking good. Or 2 armor items or 2 magic resist items. It entirely depends on the enemy team, of course. In this case, specifically, I will need an armor and a magic resist item. A magic resist for Zac, Seraphine, and Mordekaiser, and armor obviously for these two. So Dev's Dance will be in the cards for sure. Very good armor item. Get the knock up with the third hit into the W. Okay. And then right now, because we just killed the guy, we're not going to go for my Krugs anymore. We're just going to press forward into his camps and take everything we can to keep the advantage as high as possible. This is one of those situations where you'll have to snipe with your W to be able to reach the target. And then in that situation also I used my ult to finish him off with the last little bit of damage. The auto attack reset came in from the Titanic Hydra to be able to get my third knock up off, or get the knock up from the third hit off as quickly as possible. And as you can see now, I'm just clearing through this guy's camps. Everything that is up will be mine. And this way it will be nearly impossible for Zac to return from anything in this game, because I'm currently constantly taking his camps. My own camp respawns at this moment in time do not really matter anymore. If I take Zac's camps, it's fine. Bot lane gets the shove on Zac here. We do want to look for the mid turret in this situation. Slash this Quiana perhaps. Okay. She gonna... Can I reach her? Knock up into the W so she cannot dodge the W again. Very good. And then the Titanic Hydra auto attack reset allows me to get to the third Q faster, right? And now we see the entire enemy team on bot side, so we're just gonna hit the turret. The Titanic Hydra also works on turret for the auto attacks and stuff. You also auto attack reset.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Get these hits in there quickly. Titanic Hydra proc, Q proc as well. Finish this thing off. Putting the pressure on mid while the enemy is pushed in on bot side, very important. Right here what we can do is we can Q twice if we have to at the end to finish this off, but also have the third hit available to us potentially in case we need an engage on something. Or if you see an engage happen, just hit the turret or nexus or inhibitor, sorry, twice, and then go in for the engage with the third Q. It's usually what I would recommend doing. Gonna take this guy's red buff real quick. Just try to last hit my red buff. Very interesting. Right, so we have 2.6k gold. We're definitely going to go for the reset here. We're going to go pick up the stair axe. That's the third item. Pretty much always you can do this. And now we are going to need our armor first in this situation for sure. So we're just going to go end up buying Dev's Dance here. Get the armor out of that. And yeah, should be looking pretty good. The magic resist item I'm considering afterwards is you can either basically go Wit's End. Very good item, honestly. Very, very solid item. Or you can go for just a straight up magic resist tank item in the form of either a Force of Nature or a Spirit Visage. Spirit Visage does hold quite a bit of value on XIN because you do have the passive healing, and the Spirit Visage healing increase from that is quite good. You also have Sterax, so the shielding increase from Spirit Visage is also quite good. But if they have enough AP, then, you know, obviously Force of Nature is a thing. If they just have one Burst Mage, Rukurin is still on availability. But I would say that overall Spirit Visage will perform better for you compared to Rukurin because you can use your ult to like kind of cancel it out as well, and it just gives more sustainability. So if you're gonna go for like a single magic resist item in this setup, I usually end up going for Spirit Visage. But I mean, if they have a lot of magic damage, or if they're like nearly full AP, then going Spirit Visage is not better than going Force of Nature. Right here, we're just waiting on the dragon to spawn, because right now we just want to be consistent. We just get both objectives. We can get Dragon Baron into ending the game. Instead of trying to mindlessly siege mid lane, we can just do this combination, make it nice and clean. And then if we end up losing a fight by some miracle, we would not be able to lose Baron in return. Just... damn it. The reason I don't want to do this is because let's say we lose this fight somehow, some way. It is much worse because the enemy team then has the potential to do Baron. I'm pretty sure I can solo the Baron at this point. I'm not 100% on this, but we'll try it. Yeah, doing the objective before you go for this maniac fight situation, which they might win. Don't get me wrong. They might win this. They probably will just win that. But the thing is, there's no reason to risk it, because if we by some miracle would lose that fight, it would end up very badly for us with the potential of the enemy team taking Baron as a return trade as well. So that's why I wouldn't agree with the play my team just made, because, yeah, losing that fight could be very detrimental, whereas the Baron was completely free on the map to take. I can indeed solo this Baron, but it doesn't really matter. My team ends the game here anyway. But just as like a point of like, you know, you should do the Baron before you go for the play, because losing the play into then also losing the Baron is an extremely bad situation and can swing games for no reason. With all that being said, though, that was it for XIN ZHAO. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Hit the like button below, and I will see you guys in the endgame stats. Alright, so for the endgame stats here, I ended up doing a nice 18.7k damage, which is not the highest, but that is kind of expected as well, because that last team fight where my team went for the fight and I just went for the Baron as like the consistent play, the better play, really. Overall, obviously lost me a bit of a bit of champion damage at the very end, so that makes sense. We have true damage done at 2200. We have objective damage at 51.2k, which is very good. Healing done at 22k here as well. Damage taken 26.4. Self-mitigated at another 26.4 as well. Gold earned at 13.5k, which is by far the most. A large amount of this is obviously just farming consistency, but also, I mean, I had quite a bit of kills here throughout, stacked throughout, right? Helped my team in every single regard to get them a lead, and yeah, they were able to do well afterwards. Runes-wise, Conquer healed me for 370, but the adaptive damage is a lot more relevant. You just don't see that as a stat value in the page here. Triumph, 4000 HP, not too much, but I was also not that low in a lot of situations here, so the healing can be higher. But the bonus gold is still quite nice. It's an extra kill, basically. Alacrity for the attack speed. You don't need ability haste at all, by the way, in case you're wondering why not that, because you obviously have the Q to reduce all of your ability cooldowns very, very frequently. So yeah, attack speed is the way to go. Last stand for the extra damage in closer fights. You can, for more damage throughout most games, go for either coup de grace or the other one, with like the max HP, the cut down one. These will give you more damage in these end game rune stat pages every single time. It will happen every single time where one of those will give you more damage. Especially the cut down one will give you more damage for sure. However, a last stand 170 damage. This makes you stronger in those very, very close fights. Especially early on. Like if you can get an extra 5, 6, 7 damage out there, even numbers that low, in those very close fights, it's going to be very, very relevant to be able to win, and then that will allow you to snowball potentially. So I do like last stand on very bruisery fighty champions like XIN ZHAO, to be able to just go for it and, you know, get the advantage. And yeah, even though the end game might not always look good with the bonus damage, it does matter in those close fights, and those close fights end up then snowballing. So you get my point, right? A magical footwear for the free boots, and then a cosmic insight for the item cooldown, flash cooldown. It's just very nice for like a bit of cooldown on Titanic Hydra, a bit of cooldown on your summoner spells. It's not bad. Build wise here, it's Titanic Hydra first item into then Cleaver, or go for the what is the item called again? It's just slipping my mind now. Sundered Sky, I believe, yes. Sundered Sky or Cleaver is basically the one you go for. Sundered Sky is against squishies because it'll crit. It'll just do good damage against those things. Cleaver is for the tankier stuff. Like I had Mordekaiser and Zac against me here, so it logically makes sense to go Cleaver. You still do enough damage to squishies with Cleaver as well, to be fair. But yeah, that's why we go for this. And then after that, you go Sterax, which depending on which one of the two you went doesn't really matter. And then you can go for Death's Dance, and as an armor item, you nearly always go Death's Dance, and a magic resist item. Because you went Sterax, you cannot go Maw, obviously, so you're looking at Wit's End is a very solid option. Or just the tank version of it. So Spirit Visage is the one I would tend to go for in most cases, because the extra healing increase from it, the extra shielding increase from it is very valuable. But if you need enough magic resist, if they have enough mage damage or a burn mage or something like that, then Force of Nature is amazing for just a large amount of magic resist in general, and it just ends up being a very good item for that. And then at the very end, you can sell your boots for a Warmox. Like this is like the very last thing you do to up your HP even more. Warmox compensates enough movement speed for it to be fine. The patch is coming up where the Warmox movement speed gets reduced by 5% total. It goes from 15% total to 10% total, but 10% movement speed increase is still very strong as a boots replacement and will still work fine. So you can sell your boots for that and have the massive amount of additional HP and also the recoverable HP when outside of fights, and your build will then be completed. With that being said, that was it for XIN ZHAO. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hit me to the like button below. If you'd like to see more content from me, be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with another video. Bye.